What was that?
As I'm wondering, she put the water over here for me, that she did.
Of course I did. Oh, yeah, we're up. Let's see. Oh, so this is going to be confusing. We were up and didn't realize it.
We've done this before.
Okay, I'm gonna mute that so that way we can't hear ourselves twice. Okay, so no one is on yet.
Hope they're not seeing that.
It'll be on the replay. All of this talking will be on the replay. Alrighty. One is watching. That might be me though.
We're gonna go ahead and get started though, right?
Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get started. All right, so hello everybody. I'm gonna change it from our view because otherwise we're gonna be seeing ourselves like 15 seconds in the past.
Yeah.
All right, so hello everybody. I'm here with my soul friends, soul family, Randy and Amy, and we're going to be psychic channeling answers to the questions that you guys asked. We're also going to be answering questions beyond that if anyone pops into the live. And we will be channeling anything else that's ready to come through at this time because there's a lot of energies on Earth and a lot of information that's awakening and ready to come through again. So we are going to jump right into it. I'm just going to check here periodically. Oh, hello. We have two people. Hello, Danny and Stephanie. If you guys have any questions, feel free to let us know as we are talking and we'll check in on the chat. Alrighty. Okay, so we're going to tune in first. And the first topic that we got asked about was galactic councils, different galactic races, and how they live. So I'm assuming this person also wants to know more about how we live in the higher dimensions, the function of the different councils, some of the different councils, because obviously there's quite a few, but any that feel imminent or important to come through, and different galactic races. So we will start with that topic. This is all live, so we will need time to drop in and channel in between questions. It won't be fast forwarded or edited. And thank you for being here. We love you.
There are multiple councils. For example, the Galactic Council of Light, which some of us are on. There are councils of 8, councils of 12. These are original councils that for the beginning of time, before time existed, helped create what you live in today. It helped create how we are existing. And the original councils turned into the newer councils. The newer councils are made up of not just embodied humans, they are made up of all of our galactic friends. They're made up of the aliens, Arcturians. They're made up of all the different councils that exist out there today. They're represented by all the beings, all the councils, to ensure that for the future, all are properly represented. Say more. Go ahead. My role in the Council of 12 is the master architect. I'm the original flame. I'm the one who remembered. There are others who work in tandem to rebuild the new earth. Some already know who they are. Some are just now remembering. We are on other councils.
Yeah, so there are the councils of different star races, different star regions, like Pleiadian or Arcturian that you might know of. There are different galactic councils for different dimensions, different realms, different roles, such as the Council of 8 or the Council of 12. They're not necessarily stationary in a specific realm, but operating from all of them or most of them to serve specific functions. And each galactic council holds its own frequency, its own energetic field and resonance that is significant and unique in different ways. The same way the Arcturian frequency is different and yet still divine, such as the angelic frequency. The Arcturian frequency is very good for making complex energies more precise, assisting with energy body healings and activations and upgrades. The Pleiadians bring through a lot of love, a lot of heart-centered activations, a lot of happiness, a lot of joy, a lot of bliss, being able to be reborn or rebuild after the worst has occurred and happened. The Syrians bring in deep soul and DNA activation and remembrance. The angelic realms bring in that reconnection and reactivation of source within and within our fields, within our lives, our realities. And so each council, each galactic race does hold their own frequency that they excel in.
Thereby creating the perfect combination.
And your soul may resonate with many. Your soul may really resonate with one. And each all serves its own unique purpose, its own unique spark or archetype of source, of the original flame. You should speak on how they operate or how they live their life in the higher realms. As humans, our multidimensional nature is more subtle. In the higher dimensions that a lot of galactic races and galactic councils originate in are higher vibrational, higher dimensional, and their multidimensional expression and experience is more forward, more literal, in the sense that we as humans are jumping and trading timelines from moment to moment and not necessarily aware of this process, that we are traveling and journeying and working in the spiritual realms in our dreams, in and as a multidimensional experience, and we don't necessarily recall or connect to that. In the higher dimensional realms and higher dimensional races, these multidimensional experiences are known and maintained. They're experienced live in the moment.
As you evolve and grow in your journey, you will begin to remember more. Your dreams will become more lucid, and you will understand your multidimensionality more. And you will understand who you are more. And your connection to all beings.
When your frequency rises, your dimension rises. And so then your multidimensional perception begins to unfold naturally from there. And it can begin in small and subtle ways like synchronicities or angel numbers, maybe things manifesting the way that you hoped or intended them to do so. And then your ability to consciously operate in these higher realms becomes more fluid, it becomes more consistent, more natural and at ease. And these are the signs of you raising in vibration, raising in dimension. So just because we are on this 3D Earth, which is really all dimensions of Earth, you are not 3D. You are not just 3D, that is one aspect, one part of you.
Your goal is to move beyond, to get through the density and get past the veil. You are in process right now. If you're watching this, you're well past that. You're well onto your journey. The veil has lifted quite a bit.
Yes, the veil that made you think you were only 3D has lifted.
You should be experiencing a very different journey by now. You're asking beautiful questions. And you'll be seeing the world the way it really should be. The way it's always been meant to be.
Yes, all those dimensions have always been present. They've always been accessible. It is just you who has to be willing and able to tune into them, willing to believe in them. And so, like she said, the veil is mostly lifted. We are starting to see beyond it, but we are still shedding the ways of the old world that hold us and limit us to it.
And all the chaos that others see around us was for a reason. It was to allow this process to happen. It was necessary for this to happen. It allowed the veil to be lifted.
Had to get bad enough for us to see it, to truly see it.
It was planned this way. It was the plan. It was to help remove the distortions that caused the veil to begin in the first place. You may not understand it right now, but you will see. Once your veil is lifted, you will see. Should probably see if there are more questions now. Yes.
Good morning, Monica and Donna. If you have any questions, you can let us know. Alrighty. Okay. We'll go into the next question that was pre-asked. So let me come in the chat. So this person wrote, I have a lot of curiosity lately about the balance between free will and co-creation when it comes to physical health. Why is it that when it comes to relationships, career, creative aspirations, or money, people are all about manifesting miracles? But the idea that I don't want to live in a world where I have food allergies or chronic diseases or complicated oral health and exercise routines instead of healthy teeth, body, movement being the default, is met with just being told to suck it up and deal with it because that's the world we live in. So what is the relationship, what is the balance between free will and co-creation when it comes to physical health specifically? You should know that Earth is a completely free will planet. That is the reason for all the beauty that is on the planet, but also the chaos, is that humans have been given free reign, free will, free capability, meaning that they can even do harm to others, do harm to themselves. And so you should know that Earth is a complete free will planet and experience. That each of you are living a free will life. Anywhere where willpower or willingness or personal power and sovereignty has been taken, it has been given, and it can be taken back.
Sovereignty is something that you have to decide for yourself. Nobody can take your sovereignty. You gave it away. Now you must take it back. Once you take it back, everything changes. We're at a point in life where everything depends on you taking back your sovereignty. Without it, you will not experience the growth that you need. Your veil needs it to lift. You must be sovereign before you can see the light.
Yes, you must have faith in the light before you see the light.
You must release all the doubts and all the fears and anxiety, and literally shed everything and have faith. Without faith, you have nothing. Once you release all your doubt and you have faith, you can retain your sovereignty, and then you have it all.
The archetype that is the overarching archetype on this planet is that of victimhood and the perpetrator. And so a lot of us have been victimized by these perpetrator energies. We have had our energies, our sovereignty. We've been tricked into giving it because it can never be taken from another. We've been tricked into giving it. But we have the power, the capability to remember this and to recall this and to recall our energy, to recall our sovereignty. And it is a process. You can start to believe in something better. You can start to hope in something better. And we will say that if you see people in your reality who tell you that it's not possible to manifest a better body, that everything is a projection of ourselves. Everything is a projection of ourselves. And so that is your own doubts being projected into the world, not so that you can be limited by them, but so that you can perceive them and release them. And when you have stopped seeing these in your reality, in your world, you will have known that you have transmuted them internally instead.
Once you give in and release all the doubt, you have the help and everything you need. I will give you an example. I used to be very sick and very overweight. I had diabetes. I barely functioned. And once I just gave in and had faith, literally transformed with hardly any effort at all. It sounds ridiculous, but it is true.
Once you release, and once you surrender, and you believe, you will achieve. Everything will change for the better the moment that you do. Once you cross that line, that invisible veil, which is so depleted right now. Soon it will not even exist. And you will have to make a decision. And whatever decision that is, just believe and you will achieve.
Make sure there's no questions in the chat. Okay. All right, so we do have some questions. All right, so we'll start with Donna's question. Where are we on breaking false timelines, false matrices in the current awakening process? If others, where are we on sixth gate and balance and justice in the new world? I know what that means. We are breaking timeline. Where are we on breaking false timelines and false matrices in the current awakening process? We'll start with that. They are breaking every day.
I literally jump timelines and disintegrate them. Quite often, we'll just go somewhere and I can feel the shift and the change. Massive changes have happened since the 27th of April. Massive shifts. And they will continue for the next few weeks. These are clearing for the collective. So, to answer, massive changes have been made and will continue to be made probably for another 2 weeks. So, yes, there is a lot.
We work at the oversoul level and we repair timelines. We repair distortions. And we do unbelievable things behind the scenes that you can't even imagine. And we feel the distortions. We know what it feels like.
We live it.
We went through the conversions already. We know what it feels like.
We had to live the distortion in order to take it down. And now we're rebuilding, which affects the entire collective. So it'll start rippling through the collective over the next few weeks and months and even years. That is getting rid of all the false timelines.
And every personal awakening, every personal veil that is lifted collapses the timelines that we are saying no to. We are the sovereign expression of ourselves, ever present in all timelines, in all dimensions, in all realities. We are the anchor point. We are the source point of us. So when we say no to something, we collapse the timeline where that possibility existed. We collapse it back into source, back into the whole.
Remember, your personal work is the collective work. What you do, we do. I hope that answered your question.
All right, so Monica Guzman, which you guys know. Are there specific practices we can use to help us remember more of who we are and fully embody our sovereignty?
I simply do a lot of meditation. I really do. That's how I started. Every night, I sit with myself, whether it's by myself or do a guided meditation. That's just how I like to personally do it. I spend a lot of time with my crystals. They've helped activate a lot with me. I don't know if you two have your methods.
I have done the meditations, and I recommend being around people that are spiritual. It's just like you. I was watching lots of YouTube videos and got activations through many of them,
Anna.
and it brought us closer together.
That's how we met, was
Yeah,
a class we were doing. We were doing classes together.
right. So whenever you can, find different classes that resonate with you.
Or communities, yeah.
Yeah, or hang around people that are like you. That's basically the most that we can tell you.
Because I found, besides Anna, I also listened to like JJ's activations, and whoa, I've gotten so many activations from her. I've gotten so many activations just by talking to people. They may not even be spiritual, but something that they said resonates with me. And I try to give them my energy. We go to a lot of spiritual conferences, like crystal shows. Oh, the energy you'll get there. Oh, if you don't go to those, you should.
Yes. Crystal and rock shows are the best. They really have lots of energy that
Lots.
will take you far, take you
We've
far.
met some amazing people there. And you'll be surprised. Great questions, you guys. Thank you.
Yeah, so like they said, when you're in the presence of also spiritual and spiritually activated people, the light that they emit from their field, the level of dimension that is activated within their DNA, within their energetic presence and resonance and field, also collaborates with your field, with your energy, and assists you in subtly and energetically activates your own. So just in the presence of others, even just in the presence of others online, like in a video like this, is an activation. For working with crystals, we would recommend going into a crystal shop, and you can look up crystals by their meaning, like if you have a certain energy that you want to collaborate with. But what we encourage you to do is practice the intuition that we know you have, that we all have, and work with crystals that you feel called to. And you can hold them and allow yourself to lean into the weirdness of spirituality, of placing them wherever they might need to on the body, breathing into them, breathing their frequency into your body as codes, as light. Because crystals are essentially the storage of higher dimensional data, higher dimensional DNA activation, higher dimensional information that is crystallized into three-dimensional form. Multi-dimensional form. So you're operating with something far beyond the physicality of the crystal you interact with.
Most of them have found me. I will just walk by one and then I'll just kind of go, oh, who are you? And might like walk away for a little bit, and he's got his method of finding one. He feels the energy.
Yes, the way I do it is I feel for it. As an example, this one here. I put my hand over it and I feel the resonant vibration. And that's how I end up picking my stones, my crystals. But everybody has their own method.
He's actually, he'll just put it over his third eye and I can tell it does something. For me, it's mostly in my hands. I work with stones for people. I like to weave. I'm a weaver. So I weave with my stones for other people. You don't know what your talent is until you start doing it, because I didn't know that's what I was until I started doing it.
Me either. I was the same way. our energies are intertwined anyways, we're connected. And that we amplify each other, especially at crystal rock shows.
So just get out there and try all kinds of stuff. You'll be amazed at what you can get. And ever since On has been in my life, it's been amazing.
Same here. When you're around the right people, the frequencies will activate you the way that you need to be. And the most important thing to remember is the most potent way to access your sovereignty is to use it with your sovereign choice, with your sovereign thought, your sovereign mind, your sovereign heart. Having sovereignty over your thoughts, your feelings, your presence, your choices. That is the most powerful way to become it, is to be it, to use it.
And as somebody who has experienced distortion and has been around somebody who tried to steal my sovereignty and had to go through a process of recognizing it, once you realize what happened, you become so sovereign, nobody's ever going to steal it from you again.
Yes.
And that makes you very strong.
Exactly. Every negative experience is just the projection of a very powerful, positive one to come.
So don't be upset with yourself if you find yourself fooled by somebody, because it's just a lesson. Because I'm like, I should have known, but I didn't. And it was just another lesson. Have another one?
Yeah, we have a few popping in. Your personal work is the collective work. Mary Gold said that's going to be helpful. Patty Layton, is that your sister?
I
Yeah.
don't care.
Patty Layton, your sister?
Oh,
Okay.
hey, Pat.
Yeah. So Patty said, "Good morning. You talk about crystals. How do we know what crystals to buy?"
They'll find you. They will literally find you. I'll just walk into a store and I'll just wander around and I'll just, until something will just make me stop and look at some, and I'll play with them. I won't necessarily always buy something if nothing makes me tingle. I want it to make me tingle in some way. And you can go in one and maybe not find something, or you can go in one and goes, "Ooh, that feels good." And that's the one you want.
Mhm.
And sometimes just by knowing, when you just walk by something, it just catches your eye and you just know that's the one. And when you pick it up, as long as you feel some kind of energy that flows, like this one is my favorite, or one of my favorite ones, and we found this at our rock show together.
Oh, we found that the first time we met together.
This one has powerful energy, and I can feel it if I put my hand. You can't see because of the mic, but I can feel like the vibration from it. I just know. And if I place it on my third eye, like so, it goes through me. I feel like there's a lot of powerful energy here. And we have other ones. Every one that we've bought so far at the rock shows are special ones, because if we don't feel this energy out of it, then we won't purchase it.
That one over there is more like a grounding one, or an amplifier. Like this one kind of amplifies one of the other ones.
Mhm.
So if you put this one in one hand and the other one in the other, it amplifies. So, but I find them at different times.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So you don't necessarily gonna find them all at once.
No.
You find them at different times at different places. So
Yeah.
you're not gonna find them all at once.
Yeah.
They'll just kind of find you when the time is right.
Yeah. And the intuitive energy you feel around them is the most important thing, because you will probably look up the powers associated with it later and see they're very synchronistic, very relative to what you're going through in life. But even the crystals that you wouldn't necessarily think, like the powers that they have that you think you wouldn't necessarily connect with them logically, energetically, they have a piece of your DNA, of your soul, of your remembrance that you're ready to access. So it's all about the energetic pull.
Definitely.
Yeah. All right. Christine said, "Love you guys. We love you too." All right. I don't think this is a question. Oh, like, yeah, it is. So Christine said, I just bought some sedum sporium dragon's blood plant yesterday. I haven't heard of that before. And I'm super excited about it. Can you tell me any of the spiritual meanings behind it? I was totally drawn in by it being. Okay, we have no clue what it is, so it'll be a very pure answer and whatever we're able to channel. So
How do you pronounce that?
sedum sporium dragon's blood plant yesterday.
That's a plant.
Yeah, it's a plant. Okay, so I guess we'll tune into the frequency of the plant. Okay.
Well, it's an earthbound energy. I see magic, I see fire. You feeling into it?
I'm seeing the dragon energy that's in its namesake. So I'm definitely seeing the portal or the potential to work with dragon energy through the plant.
Mhm.
Because I'm getting the feeling of dragon body. I know it's called dragon's blood, but I'm getting the feeling of dragon body through the plant. Because it's more of, like you said, an earthly.
Maybe it's embodied in it.
Yes, more of an embodiment in the plant. The frequency.
I feel the dragon's energy, very powerful.
We know.
Yeah, we should talk about dragons. Let's talk about dragons.
Okay. I'll talk about dragons.
We all have dragons in our field, so we can
Yeah.
bring through the frequency that was invoked by Christine's question.
My dragon is very protective. They're very fiery. They've been with me forever, protecting me through all of my lives, ensuring my safety.
Yes, and they are physically and energetically here with us on Earth. You might be able to sense them when you go into the woods on a hike or in the waters where you're swimming.
Dragons are always with you. They are part of you. All you have to do is get into your heart space by taking 3 breaths and try visualizing your dragon. You all have a dragon. Some are different colors. Each color means something, has a different meaning. And you all are capable of riding your own dragon. Some of you do it all the time. You do it during your dream state, obviously. They're not in the 3D form, they're in your dream state. But they are beautiful and loving and caring, and they watch out for you all the time.
They're very loyal to you.
Oh, I just had a huge presence come through me.
Tell us.
Good Lord. I love it. It's my dragon.
Oh,
It's my dragon loving me, telling me. By the way, you're all going through an activation, whether you realize it or not. Just our presence alone, you will feel it. Some of you feel it instantly and know what I mean, what I'm talking about. Some of you, it will come to you in your dream. May not even be today, maybe the next day or other days, but somewhere, somehow, your dragon is going to appear to you. And it's because of our activation to you. It's going out right now. A wave of energy is going out to all of you. And even if you're listening to the recording, this is timeless. You receive all activations that come through us today and have been coming through us ever since we even started. Yes. Feel called to talk about our journey that we have been on. So, Liel, Amy, and I, and Anna, and many of you who are listening have came back from the future. We came back from 13,000 plus years ago to come back here to incarnate into the human, to fix, to live through the process of being a child and working our way back to finding who we really are, to remembering. So we went through a whole bunch of process that you're going to be going through or have been going through. And we found each other. Before we came back, we separated our energies and we had to come back and find ourselves again through all time and space, not knowing anything because we were veiled just like you are. And we found each other. And when we did a ceremony and became in union with each other. Our energies came back together. And when we did, we remembered why we came. And through a process of different activations and embodiments of many, we came back and repaired an anomaly that was destroying our future, all of our futures. And we achieved that. And Anna has been part of it, and many of you. 144 souls came back through time in different waves. The first wave is 33. These are the ones that are to be awakened so that we can all come together and repair what needs to be repaired, and also awaken all of you. Our activation today is the start of that. Actually, it was on the 27th when we did a convergence ceremony. And that was the start of it. Every single soul on earth received a signal, whether you realize it or not, to let you know that the veil has dropped. There is no more veil. You will see things now differently. You will see people act differently. The 3D world is slowly diminishing, and sooner or later, every single person on earth will need to make a decision whether they want to stay in the 3D or move to the future. Many, 1/4 of the population, move to the 5th dimension or above on the 27th and the 28th of April. Lots of you are in transition. Most of you don't even realize that you're going through it, but you're doing it through your dream state, whether you know it or not. But just know there is no rush. You will all make it. It's just, you need to go through a few things first. So I hope this helps you in some of you, bringing you a little more current of understanding what's going on. The convergent split from the old 3D world, the old Earth, to the new Earth has happened. And we're all moving to the new Earth. It's called Lemora. There'll be many levels of the new Earth, and some people will call it different things. But the end result, it doesn't matter. Call it the new Earth. We will all be one. We will all be one, as we are one right now. You just don't realize it, most of you. Anybody have anything else they want to add?
Oh,
Our job now at the oversoul level is to awaken as many people as possible so that we can all help build the new Earth. Every single soul has a job, if you want to call it that. We all have a specialty that we have, and we are all part of it. We are all one. You are all source, whether you realize it or not. Every single person is a light being, and you are all source. We are not here to talk above you. We are here to walk beside you. And we love you all. We love you more than you could even possibly imagine. The 144 souls that said yes to come back through time all have spacecrafts. We are all here to help rebuild and to also build the new Earth. So we need your help. You are part of the ground crew. Each one of you, whether you realize it or not, are a node. You are a beacon. You are sending out waves of information. You are all attached to the grid. We call it the lattice, but it's easier to understand that you're all connected to a grid or a lattice. All information goes to you, whether you realize it or not. Some have more abilities because you have awakened or you remember. It's all about remembering. It's not about someone telling you, you do this, you do that. Don't ever give your power away. You are sovereign beings.
you will remember, even if you don't remember today.
That's right. So for the next 6 months to a year, or maybe even longer. This is all unfolding. You do not leave the human body. You stay here, but your frequency, your resonant frequency, brings you to the new world, and you're at different levels. Eventually, your body will, through a crystalline process, through your DNA, you'll move on, you'll move forward. You'll move to the new world, maybe as whole bodies.
I have seen it. There are many, 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 many souls that have already accepted, but there were less that have been fully embodied. We're hoping more will become through fully. That is the goal.
So the way you can help right now is to like this video, subscribe, and leave a comment, because that's how the algorithm picks up. It picks it up and it allows it to travel all across the globe. And it's not a very good method, but that is how they do it. So we ask you to please help us out. Talk to others. Listen to all videos that you can spiritually to help waken you more and more. You are loved.
We are love.
We are you, and you are us. You are source. That is all.
Beautiful.
That's great. All right.
I don't know if we're gonna be able to get to all of these, but let's try to get to a few of them.
Yeah, we still have more questions. All right. Good afternoon, Mario from Portugal. Danny saying that she sees dragons. Mary resonates with dragons. Okay, so I think this is something we should go into is Danny said, can you please share some advice from practicing safe astral travel in a way that is more lucid and consciously aware in the moment? And so let's include dream travel in that as well. Dream recall maybe an astral travel, and we'll see what comes through on it. And then we'll see any more questions from the original questions that we can answer.
It's about astral traveling.
Yeah, astral
Safe-
travel.
Safe travel.
Yeah, safe astral traveling. So you won't be able or allowed to do that which you aren't capable of protecting yourself in the process of. You are naturally protected by your own divine internal presence, your level of embodiment, your level of sovereignty. And that also comes with the raising of your frequency and the raising of your dimension. So as you naturally rise through frequency, dimension, and vibration, as we are all designed to do, as we recall and we remember, your levels of access to higher and energetic realms will naturally unfold in ways in which you will be naturally safe and protected in doing so. And you can do practices to energetically raise your vibration before going into an astral projection sort of meditation or experience to help enable the process. You can put up energetic protections before the process. But it's your own frequency and your own vibration that moderates your level of protection in the experience.
Yeah.
I agree.
You can't go where you're not allowed to go. I always found that. A great question.
Mhm. And so raise your vibration, raise your frequency, raise your sovereignty. And that's the most surefire way to increase your protection in any sort of spiritual practice, may it be psychic channeling, meditation, activations, healings, or astral travel or dream travel.
There are so many questions. We might have to do it.
I know, we're starting to get tired.
Oh, these are more than I thought they would be.
Yeah. How do you guys feel? Do you
A couple more.
couple more?
Yeah.
Okay.
We thank everybody for all these questions.
Yeah.
Wow. I didn't know there would be so many.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know, I figured we'd end up here for a few hours. Okay, so this one is very cool. And he started to talk about spaceships. So this question was, some years ago, this woman had a vision that she saw a spaceship and it unloaded so many soulless people onto Earth. So I'd like to know, what is the agenda before this, before these soulless beings on Earth? How are they controlled? How to recognize them? And what percentage of humanity is soulless? There's quite a bit of distortion in this concept that we are going to clear up today. There is nothing that's soulless in all of creation because all is source. There is nothing that can be without source.
Source is us. We are source.
All things are source. Even what we consider to be the inanimate is still animate. It is still source.
An individual may do something that you consider an abomination, but they're still of source.
Because source is all, the good, the bad, the ugly, the present and the unpresent, the mindless, the conscious and the unconscious behavior. The good and the evil, it's all source.
Yeah, I'm wondering if what she saw was the void, which you may not understand.
Yeah, let's go into what the vision meant when she saw a spaceship unload soulless people onto Earth. Okay, so this is what I got, and I'm sure there's multiple layers to it. A lot of us who are here from higher dimensions, who have been on this earth for quite some time, we already are in the higher dimensions, with or without realizing it. And so the visual that I was getting is that we were getting a new load of three-dimensional souls that were coming onto the planet. And so there is mixed energies and mixed perspectives that we can have with these higher energies when we are our role with working with them. Restart the music for us. Okay.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I was seeing a new load, a new delivery, so to speak, of newer three-dimensional souls who are coming to this planet for the gifts of ascension that this planet has to offer. That is its medicine, that is its potency and its power. And a lot of us who are higher dimensional beings have been here since the conception of Earth. We're involved with the conception of Earth. We're involved with the conception of humanity as we know it. And so in certain perspectives, there's less activation of consciousness in true three-dimensional souls that are here to be activated.
So they would look like they had no soul because they're new.
Yeah. Because that source fire and flame hasn't yet been fully animated or activated within them.
That makes
Which is what we all experience in our awakenings. We have more darkness, we have more dimness, we have more of an unconscious pattern of behavior.
so true.
Yeah.
So true. I've gone through my period of darkness.
Yeah.
We all have,
Yeah.
and you are as well.
Everyone
Yeah.
goes through it.
Yeah.
So don't be afraid when you go through the darkness, because that's part of the process. And don't be afraid when you have your doubts, because that's all part of the process. You will come out of it. You just have to be surrounded by people who will remind you of that. But we all have souls.
We all have
You just may
souls.
not recognize it as such. But beautiful question.
Okay, so let's see what else we can answer. Do we want to speak on cloning?
There's one down there about Melchizedek. Do you want to do that one?
Yes, let's do that. So I'll talk briefly on cloning. Someone had asked about cloning, and cloning does fall into a similar line of the soulless question. Yeah,
That's fine.
we're always still source. And yes, there is cloning on the planet, but all is still source nonetheless. Okay. So the third question, or eighth question, this person's third question, regarding the order of Melchizedek, their relationship to the creation of our universe, Earth, and humanity, and their goal and agenda related to Earth's and humanity's evolution.
Nothing's coming through.
I thought that was you.
I know.
That's hard for
They're
you.
they're looking to me because I am through the embodiment process of Melchizedek, Lord Melchizedek.
Mhm.
But however, it's not coming through me at the moment.
No pressure, sorry.
Yeah.
We'll see what comes through.
However, he is a loving soul, a loving being. We all went through a major embodiment process through many. So I represent the divine masculine. And Amy represents the divine feminine. And we went through a major embodiment through many souls to get to the point of where we are today. But Lord Melchizedek is not stepping forward at the moment.
Did he come through for you? He didn't come through for me.
For me,
Yeah.
there's a little bit.
Okay,
There's a
go.
little bit that's there.
Sorry, folks, this happens.
Et an akiash. Kriya Kishan. Mira. Yeah. It is all just the ever-loving energy and presence that is in all things, as all things, through all things. That's the frequency that's coming through. So I get the energy of the identity of Lord Melchizedek not wanting to step through as an individual, but instead coming through as a whole presence, as the unity of source through the entire web of all of creation. And then it's love. That it's all love. I think that's it. It's just the frequency of love. There's a divine intelligence behind the creation of the universe, but there's less and less and less importance on the names or the beings of those who have done so, because all is all and all is source and all is one. And those who have operated within those higher realms and higher levels, who have done that level of work, of universal and galactic work are unified with source. They don't necessarily hold the need to separate or identify themselves in certain spaces. So there is wisdom in the individual identity that will come through in certain cases, certain situations, certain scenarios, certain people. But in others, it'll just bring forth the frequency of unity, the frequency of the whole. Because it's the love of source that allows all to exist. It's just the love of source.
And we are love.
See what's going on. Oh, the ch is actually pronounced as a K in my
Melchizedek.
Melchizedek.
Yeah.
Thank you. Does the light language have to be the same for each vessel, Mario? No, they don't. We're going to answer your wizard question in a second. So no, light language doesn't have to be the same for each vessel. Even the kind that I speak changes based on the frequencies that I'm channeling, and the energies that are coming through. So no, it does not have to be the same or sound like anyone else's. We'll answer a quick question from Mario. We'll see how much we can keep doing. He has received the information that he is an ancient wizard and he wants to know how he can develop himself, develop those energies.
Who did you receive the information from? I wonder, was this from within or outside?
Yeah.
If you felt it from within, you're going to naturally start getting information. You should start getting dreams and downloads and visions. Even if it came from outside, like you were told that, if it's true, you really should start to get indications of it in your dream state. I always get knowing for items that are true for me personally. I get things that just come to me, things that will come out of my mouth, things that will come through my dream state, things that will come up in a conversation with somebody, things that I shouldn't know, but I do know. That's how I always know if something's true for me. And then gifts start showing up the more I tune in. I always had certain tones that I would do or chants that I would do, and I always thought I was weird. But as I evolved in my journey, I realized these were my ancient tones from before time. They're part of my original language. And I now start to understand what they are. These do not come overnight. They come through time when you start to recognize who you really are within yourself. Nobody can tell you that but yourself. You can reach out to somebody who's very spiritually talented and they can help you understand. But like we recommended earlier, the more you are around people like yourself, who maybe have similar abilities, you can start to learn more about you. So if you believe that you are somebody like that, find others who already know they are and see if you connect. See if you are similar. See if you can bring out more of that energy. Look into communities and see if that makes sense for you. And then thrive. Look, play with it, enjoy it. That is my recommendation.
Excellent recommendation.
Be what you are.
When you're around others like yourselves, you'll activate each other.
And it'll bring you such joy.
It does. Being around others by talking to someone else, they may say just a few words that gives you a thought that will push you to the next level of what you're trying to achieve or accomplish.
Exactly.
And it has happened to us so many times. In fact, every single day, there is something.
We're constantly doing stuff with each other.
Mhm.
We're like, get out of my head. No, can't make me.
Yeah, really. How are you guys feeling? Answer another one or two?
Let's do one final one. So let's look for a good one.
Okay, all right. So we have this one right here. All right, Galactic Councils, Dimensions, Realms. I feel like we did talk about that a little bit. Maybe how we can call upon them for guidance or clarity on things. Plans, what the plans are for the future, mysteries of the universe, such as illusions, societies built around us, law of attraction, communicating openly with the spirit world, tuning into higher frequencies and healing energies. Anything briefly you guys want to say on how we can call upon the Galactic Councils for guidance or clarity on things?
Well, what I can say to that, what through my experience, is it's no different contacting the Galactic Council as it is contacting a family member that has passed on, or contacting your higher self or other spiritual beings. It's the same process. All you have to do, and don't overcomplicate it. You just have to get in a quiet space, take 3 deep breaths, exhale, and put your thoughts on your heart space. And then set the intention of what council that you want to talk to. I resonate lovely with the Arcturians, Palladians, Lyrans,
Those are our people.
Andromedas, but you can contact anyone you want just by setting the intention and asking for whoever you're trying to reach, and sit there until they come through. And if they don't, that's all right. You just try again. And if it doesn't happen this day, try again tomorrow, 2 or 3 times until you get through, and you will get through.
I do make one recommendation if you're new to doing this. And even if you're not new to doing this, I like to light a clear candle before I do that. And then I do the breaths and my intention, because it opens up the channels sometimes. So I find candles really open up. For example, when I was doing work with my deceased nephew, it really opened up the channel almost immediately. So I find that opens up the spirit world quite quickly to me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you have any specific recommendations.
Yeah, what works for you?
For tuning in?
Sound also works for me.
Yeah, sound works for me a lot. I tend to just start to hum certain frequencies. And the humming will usually lead to light language. I do a lot of hand gestures. You guys probably saw me doing it the whole time. So I definitely work with energy with my hands a lot. So I will sort of energetically attune myself for the space that I'm in to be able to tap in and tune in deeper. And just a lot of meditations that put you beyond the 3D mind, like really being able to push yourself into a deeper space. And it's not so much about pushing's the wrong word. It's about releasing or surrendering yourself into a space beyond the mind, beyond thought, beyond physicality, so that you can tune into the energy and tune into the intuitive and subtle energy layers. And just lean into the weirdness. Is like I always say, like lean into the weirdness.
If you can see your third eye, you know you're there.
Mm-hmm.
And that takes some work. And that takes some time sometimes. When I started to see my third eye, I knew I'd reached a new level. So
Yeah.
I love you guys. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Was there anything else before we go? Anybody's?
I think that's it for now. Let's see. Oh yes, and I did want to say for Mario, yeah, I was thinking to tune into Merlin energy as well, like Christine had said, was to tune into that energy a bit more.
Oh yeah, Merlin, definitely.
Yeah, tune into Merlin energy a bit more, maybe meditate with it or research it. Yes, become omnipresent. Yes. And thank you. I guess that is all for today. So we have a lot of questions we still didn't get to.
So sorry, you guys.
It takes a lot of energy, it takes a lot of time.
Oh,
So we will do another one. I do see requests in the chat asking for this again. I see that from Donna. So thank you, Donna. And we will do these again in the future. That was really fun to do.
it was. Thank you so much for watching us live, and
Yeah.
you know, maybe in another month or so when we have some time. We're kind of busy, but we'll try to make time again.
Yeah. Definitely do this again. And we love you all so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. We'll let you know when the next one's coming up.